On December 5th, 2025, you're gonna watch the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the sequel to the horror game that took the world by storm. But did you catch all the hidden details in the trailer that popped up on the internet these past few days? The very first thing you need to know is that this movie is actually a sequel to the last story, not a prequel, because in the games, FNAF 2 takes place before everything that happens in the first game, but this rule won't apply to the second movie. This proves that the movies won't follow the same timeline as the games. Plus, there's clear evidence that we'll see some time jumps both into the past and in the future. The first clue is right at the beginning of the trailer, showing a poster of the cursed pizzeria and the glass in the frame is shattered. This is a callback to the vandalism scene at the pizzeria from the first movie. The poster shows Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica holding the cupcake, with Foxy in the background. And if you look closely, you'll see this looks like the same pizzeria from the last movie. But why would the characters go back there? The answer to that and a bunch of other questions is coming up right now with these 25 hidden details in the FNAF 2 trailer. Grab a slice of pizza, because Cinewave is kicking off. The next scene shows an animatronic coming to life, and a lot of people are wondering who this character is. Many thought it was Mangle, but it's not quite like that. Actually, this animatronic is the endoskeleton from the second game, the one that wanders around the map but never attacks anyone. And for those who know the FNAF universe, you'll remember that this character isn't possessed by the spirit of any child. That's because after the crimes committed by the villain William Afton, a dark energy started to take over the places where all this horror went down. So some robots came to life, but they're not possessed by the victims of the antagonist. Instead, they're brought to life by the curse haunting these places. The appearance of this animatronic in the movie shows that they're going to dig way deeper into this evil energy inside the pizzerias. The trailer jumps to a voiceover by the villain himself asking if you're ready for the show. But what hardly anyone noticed is that he counts down from 5 to 1, which is a reference to the game's title, Five Nights at Freddy's, counting the 5 nights spent inside the pizzeria. Would you dare to go to a place like that? If you make it out alive, bring us a pepperoni pizza, please. The next detail shows a really interesting event. In this universe, the pizzeria used to be super famous back in the day, so we believe this scene is a time jump to 1983, when everything was still fine before the crimes happened. The trailer shows a carnival called FazFest, a festival dedicated to the animatronics. There's a girl with a blue wig and bunny ears cosplaying as Toy Bonnie. At the same carnival, we see a prize wheel, just like the ones you'd find at fairground game stalls. But here, all the prizes are related to the animatronics from Freddy's restaurant. This is more proof that we're looking at a flashback before the events of the first movie, back when the restaurant was still popular. It's just like the second game, which tells a story that happened years earlier. The next scene is a nod to the trailer from the first movie, where the pizzeria was shown in a reflection in the water. The FNAF 1 production team used this trick too. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice that in front of this building, we see 3 animatronics: Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. In the pizzeria from the first movie, they only showed Freddy. So clearly we're in a different location. A whole other pizzeria with new animatronics. Could all of this be happening in the same town? In the same scene, we see Abby riding a bike and heading towards this place. She's never been there before, so how did she find this new pizzeria? What we do know is that it's an abandoned place, and this proves that the street fair scenes are from the past, back when the restaurant was still famous. Once again showing that we're gonna see some time jumps in the story. Abby leaves a note for Mike, and it reads, "I went to fix my friends." This is clear proof that she's trying to save the children trapped inside the animatronics. Would you like to have robot friends just like the ones in FNAF? Drop a comment with hashtag Freddy so we can get to know ya. A little later, we see Toy Bonnie peeking out from behind a curtain, and this shows how much more aggressive the animatronics have become. Before, they used to stay inside the pizzerias, but for some reason, now they can go out and hunt down whoever they want. We see the hand of an older person, definitely a man, pressing the famous Showtime button, which is super iconic from the games and the first movie. In the old trailer, it was a woman pressing a similar button that was on the wall, but this one is different, meaning it's not the same pizzeria. The next detail shows a really interesting chain of events. Let's start by pointing out a brand new character staring out of a window in a dark room. He's probably some kind of school principal, and this scene actually takes place at the school where Abby studies. Could it be that the animatronics are now going after Mike's sister? Right after that, we see one of the animatronics attacking the man, and right away we can tell it's Toy Chica. This shows how the robots really don't like adults. A lot of fans thought it wasn't Toy Chica, but they're mistaken, because if you look closely, you'll see it's a yellow animatronic attacking the man. The next scene shows Toy Chica, or more specifically, her feet, inside a room at Abby's school. But the detail here is that looking at Chica's feet, We notice that now the animatronics look way more robotic and way less like stuffed animals like they did in the first movie. Another clue comes right after that, when we see Mangle for the very first time and she smashes a window with her fist to break into a house. Honestly, the animatronics this time around are looking very different from what we saw in the first movie. In the next scene, there's a small detail that only a few people noticed. It shows the three main characters together being attacked by something. They're inside a house, and this scene probably happens near the end of the movie. What a lot of people didn't catch is that this looks like Vanessa's house, not the place where Mike lives with Abby. And if that's true, it's probably the same house where the Afton family's secrets are hidden. You know what we mean, right? This could be a reference to Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and soon enough we'll show you why so many people believe that's the case. So stick around. An animatronic tries to break into a garage, and we know it can only be Freddy, because his feet are the only ones shaped like that. If you go back to the scene with Chica's feet, you'll see they're completely different. This must be the same house from the previous scene. There's also a broken down car in the garage that Freddy is trying to open, and judging by the shape, it's an old vehicle. This car might just be the same one William Afton used to kidnap Mike's brother all those years ago. This is yet another hint that the house is indeed the place where Vanessa is living, since she's the daughter of the villain. You know where you could live? In our hearts, because once you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, we'll be friends forever.
We're going to have so much fun together.
The next scene shows Toy Bonnie holding a knife about to attack someone. His eyes are glowing red, and that's a sign that he's being controlled by someone. Could it be the same person who pressed the Showtime button? Let's find out. Now the trailer hits a super important moment. There's a scene, which looks like a memory, that shows William Afton at the end of a hallway. This is his house, and the place looks like a reference to the Plush Trap hallway and Night 3 from sister location in the games, meaning it could be an Easter egg for FNAF 4 and FNAF 5. And for the first time, we see Balloon Boy. If you look closely, you'll notice the animatronic is inside the security office from the second game. On his right, at the back of the room, there's a vent cover that looks just like the one from FNAF 2. But the funny thing is, the character is on the wrong side of the image, because in FNAF 2, the air vent is on the left side of the office. One of the most important scenes shows a hand grabbing a knife, and if you look carefully, you'll see it's the Springtrap suit, which means it's the big villain, William Afton. And this scene has been fueling tons of theories online because at the end of the first movie, the antagonist got trapped inside the pizzeria, and we believe this moment could be when he commits his notorious crime back in 1987, known as the DCI. Will they show this in the movie? Mangle attacks another adult, and he seems to be holding a weapon. Maybe we're gonna see an all-out fight between the animatronics and armed people. Someone is driving a car that gets attacked by Mangle's claw, and from what we can tell, that driver is Vanessa. Could she end up getting hurt again? Once again, the characters look terrified, staring at someone who's most likely William Afton, but they're in a different part of the same house, meaning they're backing away from someone. And if you pay close attention to Abby, you'll notice she looks way older than she did in the first movie. A female character looks up and starts screaming. She's being attacked, and if you recognize this girl, she's actress McKenna Grace from the new Ghostbusters movies. And finally, we see the last scene, flashing back to the street fair in the past, where tons of fans are cosplaying as animatronics. And right up front, we can spot Toy Freddy, already possessed by the child's spirit. This scene is probably set in 1983, but you'll get to watch the movie on December 5th, 2025, just like the trailer shows in its final moments. And you don't need to worry, because no one's gonna have to wait until the end of the year to have fun. We've already picked out 2 more videos for you to enjoy. We'll see you in the next one.